All right, welcome to another Jenkins Evergreen Open Planning meeting. This, I think, should be fairly quick. Let me get the Jira board moved over to the right spot so I can share that. Keith, I'm guessing you had a productive day with none of the Americans around yesterday.
You would hope so. You would hope so. Yes, well, I'm still starting, I would say, but yeah, I've been playing and I've been somehow reading and playing with some wrappers around Node, Git. And in the end, right now, what I'm playing with is mostly using the not raw, but lower level API not child process, I think it's called, to basically call Git like it is. For instance, there's that Node Git, very attractive or interesting API, which seems to wrap in a high level Git, git.clone and so on. But for some reason, when I install it on my machine, it doesn't work. And as I commented, if you scroll down, you see that basically everything crashes and seems to just be supported on Windows, which is not really useful for our purpose.
Interesting.
Yeah, so hopefully, anyway, our usage, because I've also reread the spec that some crazy guy wrote some time ago.
Yeah, some weird French guy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, hopefully, anyway, we're not going to have to do some kind of crazy rebase or re
Right.
or whatever subcommand. So hopefully and normally I expect that calling the subcommand is not going to be the most complicated part of this. It's mostly as I've started to dig into the update process, and so it's going to be probably some updates on the 307, which is about the updates lifecycle. Something are by definition. So if people are joining or watching that afterwards, we are discussing the fact, okay, how we are going to handle the fact that if there's something wrong going on after an update, then how do we go back, given we know that the file system is likely to have changed, and Jenkins doesn't support, if you read the JEP 302, basically going back. So we want to use Git to have a way to go back. So yeah, and I expect that the most complicated part is going to be able to call the right thing at the right places and change or adjust the update lifecycle as it's written right now. By the way, we have another issue about that, but it's unrelated. I think we'll discuss that a bit afterwards.
Yeah, I was going to, I guess, to step back from this task in particular. One of the things that we were tackling last week were a lot of the early alpha feedback that we were getting, and I think we made some really good progress on that.
Mm-hmm.
What we're sort of the two milestones that we should look at to move forward right now. There's one which is a blog post on Jenkins.io, which I'd like to get out in the next week or two, talking about Jenkins Evergreen, start soliciting some feedback, explain sort of where we are in the project, that sort of thing. And then the other milestone that we have coming up is Jenkins or DevOps World, Jenkins World, which, from my understanding, Kosuke is going to be referring to Jenkins Evergreen in the keynote, and Jenkins Evergreen is also going to be featured in some marketing materials around DevOps World, Jenkins World. And so we can expect
some testing,
an influx of interest
slightly.
That week of September 16th to the 19th around DevOps World, Jenkins World. So this task in particular that Baptiste started talking about, this is a pretty integral part of the Evergreen promise and the Evergreen distribution. So I'm glad that you had started on this, Baptiste, because I was going to ask about this, because this is one of those really important important items.
I tried to select, I mean, to choose things at the right order, and I think you reordered again the things recently, so that's why I chose that one first.
Yeah. And I last week I went ahead and I related all of the tasks that I know are blocking my comfort level for writing a Jenkins IO blog post, which some of the stuff I think Baptiste has already tackled. And then Mandy, we've got the deletes on the back end.
Yeah. By the way, I guess the first
comment about that I saw on a pull request somewhere.
I was going to talk about the very first one there, which I think I again saw this morning when I thought it would be now not present anymore since we are supposed to have upgraded the back end. But I still have but my own instance, Evergreen instance, that's now broken for the same reason that originally. So it seems to be during an upgrade, so something is wrong here. I mean, yeah. We need some tests or some more tests, as I think Mandy was working on, to understand what's going on, because yeah, this is problematic, and this is going to be a not wow effect if some people try it after after or during Jenkins World.
Yeah, I've been working on updating the update versions test to see if I can reproduce this. I haven't been able to yet. I'm not sure if it's that we need multiple updates in there or what we're missing here.
Seems like, or something like this, and I've not been able to understand really how it's been going on. I mean, I've provisioned something and then I reverted. I think the worked around thing on the essentials.yaml, so that I would force Docker commands to 1.9 everywhere. And when I reverted that, then my instance got broken again when I thought it was something fixed. Somewhere, if you look at the chat, you will see that there's a commit from Tyler like 2 weeks ago or something that I thought would be fixing exactly that. And I thought, okay, that's the reason the backend is actually crashing my instance. And so there's two ways. Either it's the bug is still present or another form of that bug, or the backend deployment failed and we don't see it, but only Tyler or Olivier can check that part, I guess.
The backend deployment, I'll take a look at. There's another issue that you and I discussed briefly, Baptiste, I think yesterday, about the containers not being built properly in trusted CI. So I think we have a backlog of undeployed backend changes that need to go live anyways.
Exactly. By the way, I guess you received too many emails to understand or analyze that, but yes, I filed an infra issue this morning about that 5 days old build for Evergreen on trusted CI issue.
Did you assign it to me?
Yeah, I think so, but I can double check. I'm pretty sure I did.
So the way that I'm expecting to be operating personally this week is basically smashing bugs and deploying code. There's no new feature that I'm going to prioritize for myself. The only potential candidate after some of these bugs are fixed would be returning to a couple of these tasks down here below, some of these other bugs that I have. What I also am missing, and I think, Mandy, it sounds like this is behind some other bugs on your plate. I don't have much idea of how we move forward with updating the support distribution for the client and all the configuration. I'm wondering if you had given that more thought towards the end of the week last week.
I mean, I have some ideas on it. They're not fully fleshed out yet, but I completely switched focus over to this other stuff that came up.
Okay. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. I think the Evergreen client and configuration update we should look at as not required maybe for a Jenkins IO blog post, but definitely required for Jenkins World.
which is a matter of like 5 days of difference
Hey
maximum.
man, those are long 5 days.
Yeah, right.
Plenty of time.
Okay, my bad.
Plenty of time. Besides, aren't you flying from France to San Francisco for DevOps World, Jenkins World? There's like a whole plane ride that you could.
Yeah,
You
I
can
need to see because I have some now issues with my battery, so I need to see with my manager if I could approve some external charger or something. Or hopefully, because it's not the case all the time, the plane would have a plug. But you know, sometimes those plugs that don't accept more than some amount of watts, which
Right.
last time it was you switch off each time I would plug it in. So yeah, no luck.
Yeah,
And I know that
I've done that before with a laptop.
James actually has the pretty same laptop as I have, and had a look at some different charger that would have a lower lower watt per hour and so on, that would probably be accepted by planes and so on. So anyway, I'm digressing.
But given how much Jenkins Evergreen downloads when it starts, I'm not sure how effective you'll be from the sky.
Yeah, or I mean, I've had, as you know, I've had it Squid cache some times ago. But if it's to write or to test things in the real world and so on, downloading from the actual backend, yeah, I'm stuck.
So the other thing that I wanted to highlight as what I think we should really strive to get before DevOps World, Jenkins World is the CloudFormation launch stack button. Even if that's not on Jenkins IO, having that in our README, I think would be pretty good. But that's something, I don't know if one of these tickets, Baptiste, captures that. Guessing not.
No, that's not the case. I was thinking about that some like 2 days ago or something. But yes, for now, I would hope, and I'm very optimistic. But even implementing the JEP 302 for Jenkins World would be already great. So well, I too often commit to things that I cannot finish in time, I would say, or it can happen. So depends which answer you want to hear. The the optimistic one or the realistic one? Yes, I mean, I have no idea, to be honest, and I need to. I think I tweeted about that, but never heard anything about that. But yeah, if someone watches this, which maybe is unlikely, and knows how to do that, when we will welcome some help.
I'll ask a colleague of mine at the office here in Santa Rosa if he's done that before. He's pretty AWS savvy.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do after this meeting is I'll create a ticket for like Jenkins World preparedness for Evergreen, and we'll just link some of these tickets that I think are required. So we have a pretty good set of tasks that we should focus on. Mandy, with the work that you were doing, really to me the two big things are the support distribution and then the backend deletes. And it sounds like Baptiste needs the backend deletes first, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I'll prioritize that.
Baptiste, you had made a comment somewhere, and I can't remember where at this point, that you think that the backend deletes part is going to be required for
Well,
the
I think simply, I think it's in that ticket, the ticket we're talking about. The backend should delete. I think it's in comments in that ticket, I think. By the way, I think I saw 2 instances of should delete. Yeah, there's 2 actually here. So I'm not sure which one. Okay, the one is for client and one is for sending from the server the different things.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because indeed, if there's something new that created the issue, then we need, when we ring back, to that thing has actually be removed, or we're stuck.
Right. I think the way that, I mean, Mandy, this order actually looks reasonable to me.
And the things that are in progress should be put back in open or something. I guess the documentation is not the most urgent thing, and ready done comic hood. What's that?
Yeah, I'll let Mandy organize that.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and fix that.
And is that thing in review, really in review? I don't think. Or is this the thing?
Just closed it. I had forgotten to move it when the pull request got closed.
Okay.
Okay.
By the way, the secure out of the box thing is in review, and I think did I merge it? Oh, maybe I didn't. I didn't merge it myself. I think I merged it myself like yesterday, and I think I commented saying, okay, I would still welcome some review, some highs on this because, well, that's not a great thing to merge things without anyone looking at it, but it was pretty small. So, and I don't anticipate any, critical thing. It was not like a 1,000 lines change. I think it's, that one.
Yeah. I'll take a look at it after the meeting. But yeah, that's great. I'm glad you were able to tackle that. That was also one of those important ones. So just thinking of the calendar here, we've got 2 weeks basically, if I'm not mistaken, between now and DevOps World, Jenkins World. So yeah, this will definitely be a little bit of a sprint, won't it?
Agile, the bad, the ugly.
Well, are there any things that are blocking y'all, or things that I can help move out of the way?
I guess we already discussed that. If you can tackle the backend issue and make sure the thing that is deployed, I mean, it's not re-blocking me because, it's not something that it's more something that is, running in my mind that I know that my public instance got, broken many times, and I thought we deployed something that should fix it. So I'm still concerned about it. So if you can just assess if it was indeed deployed at the right version, and so there's actually something that needs to be filed or considered. I mean, the thing that is the version, blah, 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 that issue I thought we would close at already fixed. And so if the backend is already deployed, I'm wrong. And if the backend has already not been deployed the right way, and the fix you did some weeks ago or actually was never deployed to production, then maybe we could just, after the fact, close this one. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I've got some updates that make this page a lot more useful too, that need to be deployed. I'll make that the first thing today, is getting the backend properly deployed.
Yeah, by the way, I remember I filed something and I actually was duplicate, but basically, I'm embedding somewhere in that page the version that is deployed. But I don't see how hard it's going to be for you. So
it's a small matter of programming. Move that to the top. Okay, Mandy, is there anything that I can do for you that would unblock you?
I mean, I guess like getting that update would help me know, because right now with the testing, I'm not seeing the same version problem that we're running into with the production deploy. And being able to pull that off my list and focus on the delete stuff would help.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like I've got a pretty straightforward path that I need to travel today. What I think I'll be looking at outside of the context of this is I'll be trying to see what sort of meetings and other things that I can cancel and that I can delete for the three of us, since we are sort of coming down to the wire with DevOps World, Jenkins World.
For the demo effect,
understanding.
Go on. I mean, I was going to say for the demo effect of Jenkins World, if some people are trying it, the second one on your list, I don't know if it's intended that it's the second one right now, is really
no, that's supposed
to be in a way.
Yeah. I hit that a few times too. It's really annoying.
Yeah. And first time it surprised me because it's on my blog basically, so it was redirected to my blog, and I was like, "What the hell?" Anyway.
Okay.
Great.
Sounds good.
So let's tackle those things.
Oh, and I'm assuming you all saw the awesome image that Ksenia created, right?
Yeah, that's why I provisioned many times the public instance. I was not, not satisfied enough to have seen that only a few seconds. So,
Um,
and by the way, I realized that issue about that redirection when I was about to tweet some quick video about that provisioning and the nice thing, and and I just was blocked to publish that tweet because it would look, very awkward to have at the end something like there's an error.
I'm realizing that all of this code is sort of in a weird spot, like weird in that I don't anticipate it because I was expecting. Why is that reloading? I was expecting this to have been merged. I'm gonna fix this up and get this ready to merge today because there's some code, some changes in the tree that I think are going to cause conflicts if we let this stay work in progress for too long. Look how awesome that is. So good. Ksenia did a really great job.
That's the thing you look in the morning while you're trying to, concentrate or focus.
Focus. You're getting
really
very
awesome.
focused. All right. So, are there any other things we need to discuss, or can we call it a day and get back to work?
Nope, that's okay.
Nothing else from me.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks. I'll see you all on Gitter then.
Bye-bye.